Hey guys, Kristen here. So I did my tech presentation on this website called Adapted Mind, which I'm going to give you a brief description of. So Adapted Mind is a program that offers various subjects that included the main two subjects were math and reading, but it also included social studies, science, and a bunch of other ones as like add-ons. But the main things were math and reading. And for math, it offered, from what I saw, it offered K through 8, but the main curriculum is focused on K through 6, and that is aligned with the Common Core. And this program was built by teachers that worked with the programmers to be able to answer all the questions and create the content. And so when a child gets a question wrong, there's a video, and the video is created by the teacher to show them like how to do it. So this allows for there to be numerous lessons per grade level. There were hundreds of lessons per each grade level, and as it got older, like towards eighth grade, the lessons became it was like 172. So it's a lot less than the lower grades, but there were still a lot of lessons. And each time a child plays, it's catered to them and their learning. So each time um, a child would go on and log on and play every time they got, depending on the questions they got right and depending on the questions they got wrong. All of the games and all the questions are catered to them individually and specifically. And it also allows for progress monitoring and tracking. So the early childhood education technology evaluation toolkit, I'm going to kind of go through it and I kind of killed two birds with one stone on each slide. So it has like educational and appropriate, and then the rest follow. So for the educational aspect, learning versus focus and winning, there was definitely more of a focus on learning. I remember doing after the pre-test that they do for each grade level, they ask a bunch of questions to kind of gauge where the child would be. And then after I did a few questions after the pretest, they showed like this whole video on this little monster that was having trouble with a problem in math. And then they showed the whole video and they were like, you can invite your parent over to watch with you. And it showed that struggling in math is okay. And it's okay as long as you're always trying. And then it asked, like, so what are you going to do next time you come across something challenging? And what are you going to do next time you feel like something is too hard? So it was definitely more focused on learning than winning, and you only really win like these little like pets, so you become like a master pet keeper. Um, the content, research, and our learning standards are based on the Common Core standards. That's K through 6, like I had mentioned before, is based on the Common Core learning standards. And feedback is given. So when you get a question wrong, the top part it says like, sorry, that's incorrect. And then it gives you options. You can either just look at the question again, you can watch a video by a teacher, and if you watch the video, it'll offer you like another gem, which is like a gem you could have lost, and the gems allow you to customize your pets or your monster as you keep going. So it's for appropriate cognitive skill and subject matter. The program offers a read aloud on some of the questions, and most is written in easy to read font. So it's there were questions that they were mostly like word questions. You could have them read out loud to you, which is kind of helpful, especially when it gets down to like the non-readers can navigate. That's supposed to be a question mark. If the non-readers can navigate, it definitely gives that option. All the words are very big, and it does give the option of reading, but not all the questions do. Interesting slash uh peering context. So the theme is monsters. The child gets to create their own monster as soon as they start. Like the first thing do is they create their own monster, and as soon as they finish the pretest, they earn a pet, and then they can customize the pet. So it's appearing and appealing in terms of the way that it appeals to kids and them being able to create this monster that's going to go through all these activities and it's personalized to them. So I had mentioned the pre and non-readers and then free from bias. I would say it's not free from bias because of the cost of the program in order to play. I mean, right now I'm doing it off of 1 month free trial. But after that, there is a cost of $10 a month, and every subject that you add is an extra $10. And it doesn't really have any other languages. And because some of the questions they can't be read aloud, it might not be accessible to people who really can't read for some of the questions. So is it child friendly? It's absolutely child friendly. Simple and clear choices. Yes, the choices are very clear and simple. There's always an I don't know option so that it gives them the opportunity to learn it instead of just kind of sit there and try and figure it out. And there are some like fill in the blanks, but you can always just opt to say, I don't know. Multiple positive opportunities for success. There definitely are. If there's a question wrong, there's still a way to earn the points that you would have earned if you had gotten the question right. And can the child use this independently? They definitely can. It's made for them to use independently. So after a parent or an adult teacher logs on, it's for them to go and do it. It actually said in the beginning during the pretest that parents were asked to like let the child do it on their own. Like they can work this on their own. Like I know you want to help, but let them figure this out so we can really see where your child is, which I thought was actually kind of cool. Um, as an enjoyable, engaging. I thought it was actually pretty cool. There are enough activities with variety. Each time the child plays, they're able to do different part of the game to reach their goals. So like some of it was islands, and you have to answer a certain amount of questions to get to the next part of the island. Appropriate use for awards. The awards come as students complete the activity. So when they completed a certain amount of questions, they got another pet or they got more gems so they could go to the store. Realistic graphics and appealing to intended age. I mean, they were monsters, but it was definitely intended for the elementary levels. I'm not so sure if like sixth, seventh, eighth graders would enjoy it as much, but I also didn't check out what the sixth, seventh, and eighth graders like curriculum would have looked like. But I'm pretty sure it's still very much centered around like monsters. But I think this would be a great tool for sixth, seventh, and eighth graders that are struggling and have a math difficulty that they can go back and kind of run through this and everything is catered to them and their learning. Activities matched to attention span. In the beginning, before I even got to sign up, there was like a whole tutorial that said you should only do this like 3 times a week for 20 minutes. And after that, like get out, literally like get out and go outside. That's what the video said. Or like go do something else that's active because you don't need to sit there on the computer for long amounts of time doing the work. So after when I had started playing, after I had actually finished like about, I think it was 20, 25 minutes, it was like, okay, you're done for today. Go do something else. We'll see you tomorrow, which was kind of cool. So for progress monitoring, it covers all the key areas the software teaches. It covers all the areas taught in the Common Core. And is it easy to use and interpret? Definitely. I looked at the data that I had, quote unquote, put together myself after doing some questions, and it showed kind of where the progress is, where things they still need to work on, how they're going about it. It was actually really cool to see the progress. So it allows parents at home or whoever the caretaker is at home and teachers in school to monitor consistent progress of each student doing it. Um, and individualizing features. So it can be can it be customized to the child's needs? And it definitely is. Like the whole program is about the fact that it's customized to the way that each child is learning. So if they get a question wrong, the questions will get a little easier, or if they keep getting them right, they get a little harder. So it's all of it's customized to who's playing. Which is actually really cool. Instead of it just, and it tracks, since it tracks the progress, it'll leave off where you left off beforehand. And if you do really well, it'll challenge you more. And if you don't do as well, it'll keep you where you need to be until you can do well. Just allow creation of new activities. I'm actually not sure. I didn't get that far in the game. So to answer some of the questions that were on Blackboard, the targeted grade level is mainly K through 6, but it does go up to 8, as I had mentioned before. How and where might this program be used? I would definitely say at home or at school. It's very accessible. The only problems are the fact that you do have to pay for it, and each program only allows for 5 children at a time. So if there's more than 5, like a classroom, I'm not 100% sure how that would work. But in previous discussions, I've heard that schools had used it and it was like a really great tool. Does this program exemplify or not effective instruction for students with mathematic difficulties? Since the program is set up to be individualized depending on who's playing, it moves at the pace of the student. So I would say it definitely does have effective instruction, also because it's taught by teachers. So it's teachers that are going through and showing, okay, I remember one of the questions I had like gotten wrong on purpose was it was the circle and I put in square. So saying, sorry, you got this question wrong, but like this is how we tell that this is a circle instead of a square because of the size, because of the shape, because of the way that it's built, and then it's all catered to the age. So I think I did it through our second or third grade, and it set it in a way that a second or third grader would have understood, um, especially for students with math difficulties. It breaks a lot of things down and it doesn't challenge them too quickly. So it's not like you move forward in the game, whether you get the question right or you get the question wrong. It's going to move you forward. It's going to keep you at the level you should be at, which can be really helpful to students with disabilities, difficulties. What accommodations and modifications would be needed for students with mathematic difficulties. The website does a really good job at accommodating students who would have difficulties or disabilities. According to the article, it said that if an individual consistently needs like help or like tailored specific instruction, that's when the individual instruction would help. So for a teacher to be able to say, okay, go on Adapted Mind and like go work on that and see how that type of intervention will kind of help while they're setting up something else or whatever it is that the teacher would be doing. It was a really cool tool, and then it monitors every time a child is done playing. You get an email that says, "Hey, this is what they did today. This is the progress that they made," which is really cool. And it was done every time they played. So overall, thanks for joining my table talk. I would say that this is a really cool program, and it's definitely something that would be a really great tool, especially now during this time period, to be at home and to kind of let kids do it, play, monitor their progress, and then go do something else, whether that's other math games or maybe like physical math games where a parent plays cards or flashcards or whatever it is. But I remember reading in the article that repetition is also helpful in terms of memory, and it it allows the child to go over the same things when they log back on, which is also really cool. So definitely a really cool website. I have the free trial right now, but if you want to, definitely go check it out. I know someone in the class had mentioned that's in the school, so I'm going to see if I can find out who that was so we can get more information. But it was really cool. Thanks for joining my table talk, guys.